I give my best take when I've packed up and come back home and I'm lying in bed after a shower. I'm like, only if I could just do that.
Hi, I'm Anupama Chopra, and this is the Hollywood Reporter India's Actors Roundtable, presented by District by Zomato and hydration partner Vedika Himalayan Spring Water.
Being a director, it's tough to be a stable income, and financially also it's difficult. Like you have to wait for actors' dates for quite a long
Looking
time.
at all of you.
While he is also an
Only
actor.
one on the table who has the luxury to say it.
On the day of release, me and Naslin didn't step out. At 3 o'clock, when we'd known that good reviews were coming in, we both called each other. We were like, I think we can step out now. Like, okay, cool. Do you want to go watch the movie? I'm like, yeah.
So I studied at Strasbourg, and you'd have this like worksheet with your characters' age and which part of society they consider they're from and what relationship they have with their parents and all of that really technical stuff. But my director Mari Selvaratsa saw me. That's not what you should be doing at all.
Strasbourg out of the window.
Yeah.
When I read the script and the way she was written was completely feeling negative. I read the whole script and I called Anand sir and I said, I don't like her. I'm not liking her.
Yeah.
When you're shooting in a forest in Kundapur, either you're thinking about the cosmic world of the film or you're like, oh, there's a leech on my foot. So those are the two realms you inhabit. And then you're done, and then you're getting ready for the premiere, and you're like, oh my god.
We're very mollycoddled, I feel like, especially as actors. We really are. Like, I did something called The Perfect Couple in Cape Cod, where they just gave me a house and a car and said, drive yourself to set. Now I'm doing laundry every day. I'm cleaning, I'm cooking for myself. I'm doing the lines while driving to set and doing that. I didn't know a single person there. And have a single person from my team. It was just 3.5 months of that.
Welcome everyone to the Hollywood Reporter India's Actors Roundtable 2025. This is such a dazzling collection of amazing actors. Like, my heart is full just looking at all of you. You all have done such good work this year, and through the course of this conversation, I'm going to ask you specifically about specific scenes. And I feel like, Vicky, since you're a roundtable veteran, we can begin with you, right? Of course, Vicky, we had you on the roundtable last year in anticipation of Chava. Picture release,
That's about that.
So, Vicky, in my review of the film, I called you a towering inferno because you were really fire and brimstone, and especially in that last stretch, right? And there's this one moment where the soldier who has to blind you says to you, please close your eyes, because even he's feeling ashamed of what he's doing. And it's so powerful. And I was just thinking, when you do a whole thing like that, and how long did that take? How many days was that shoot?
The torture or the pre-climax?
The whole sort of torture sequence.
The torture sequence, actually we started off and I got injured after the third day. And I had a nerve injury, so we had to take a break for a month and a half. We had to dismantle the set. And then we picked it up again 2 months later. And then I think it was about 12 days, I think 10 to 14 days, somewhere in the middle.
So when you are put in such an extreme circumstance and you're enacting this, does it alter you as an actor in some way, sort of permanently?
I don't think so. In that sense, it was intense. It was, we all knew there was a certain mood on set where nobody was really treating it very frivolously, be it the actors or technicians or even the background artists. There was that energy on set. Of course, it was physically very tiring, but also we knew that the third act of the film is why we are celebrating the legacy of the man whom we are showing in the film. And so it was, that seriousness was there. We would sit on the writing, we would sit on how to kind of execute the scene. There was very little I could do physically in that scene, but I think overall it happened very smoothly. Physically tiring, and overall with the prosthetics and everything, plus the heat, it was the usual thing. But I don't think it was in the sense that that it kind of changed something in me permanently. But it was always that acknowledgement was there that, okay, if just enacting this is so tough, then we can't even fathom what must have happened and how it would have felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rukmini, for you also, it's the second hour or the last hour, not the second hour. This is a very long film, Kantara. And it's very interesting to me that you said that you were very anxious about the fact that she turns out to be a negative character, right? Mm-hmm. That she's actually evil. And I was like, wow, why did that give you anxiety? And how did you use that anxiety to fuel your performance?
I think the anxiousness is rooted in the notion that in the early stages of one's career, you don't delve into the grey. I don't know if I'm mistaken in this. I think the other ladies also may be able to share if they've heard that. But the sense that a traditional heroine embodies certain values or certain, like there's an area of the film that you engage with. Yeah. And then delving into the other part, you can, but you don't know if that's going to color the rest of your career. So you're not just taking on this film. It is something that is going to have a sort of compounding effect on the rest of your work. Mm. And when it's in the early stages of your career, that is something you're very cognizant of. You don't want to threaten the rest of your work because you don't know what's going to come your way. So that was one of my deepest concerns about the film.
That you should be a nice girl.
But you told a lot of things in the early stage of your career in general.
Yeah, it's maybe it's the fallacy of the nice girl, and that's what you should embody in the early stages. Later on, once you've done, this whole spectrum, then sure you can experiment. But it does feel a bit dangerous to experiment early on. Or at least it did feel for me. I don't want to speak for female actors in general, but for me it did. I didn't use the anxiety particularly to fuel my performance because once you take on a film, you've taken on a film.
Then you were fine.
You're fine till release. And then the anxiety wakes up. Yeah, right? I mean...
then you're like, I don't know how people are going to take this.
Exactly. Because when you're shooting in a forest in Kundapur, at that point you're just like,
there's a...
Sorry?
You're not like...
Exactly. You're completely immersed in that space. And either you're thinking about the cosmic world of the film or you're like, there's a leech on my foot. So those are the two realms you inhabit. And then you're done and then you're getting ready for the premiere and you're like, oh my God. Am I going to spend the rest of my career playing the bad guy? Which could also be gratifying. But so to answer your second question, I don't think I used that anxiety to fuel my work.
Yeah, and you're happy with how it all played out with being bad?
I'm thrilled because it's been so validating for me because people are saying, we loved your range.
Yeah.
And people are not coming back to me and saying, we hated seeing you like this. Stick to the good girl roles. People are like, we loved you in this, where you play this pure ethereal character. We love you in this where you're the bad guy. Great. I don't need to be so scared anymore.
That must be validating because people still have to love to hate you, not just hate you, right?
Yeah, it is.
In a way.
people are feeling, which is what you set out to do. So
also because it was such a surprise, right? Nobody saw
it really was.
that she was going to turn out to be so vengeful and mean and oh my God. I was like, wow, did not see that coming. And you just owned it.
thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, that was the brief. Nobody should see it coming. So I've been walking around like a census. Anytime anyone tells me they've watched the film, I'm like, did you see it coming?
Okay, tell me, for any of you, has it happened that you're doing a character and you have a certain idea ki it'll be like this, I'm playing it like this is my approach, and then while you're doing the character, you realize something else, that it's, oh my God, there's some window that is opened and it's actually something else, and then you change the way you're doing it. Has that happened to anyone with any performance?
All the time, I think.
Really?
I mean, in some way or the other, I think it's about at least I can speak for myself, it's about, the prep is about reaching a point where you can rely on your instincts, but then you learn from your instincts and you also observe the behavior of your own self and character. And it keeps feeding you, you know. Like in Homebound also, I think for me, one of the things I learned was there's like a, and it's there, it's all there on the text. It's not like it's not there, but you just, it speaks to you when you start doing it. And there's like this almost like an inflicting of self-violence when you're assuming a role or a position in society where you're being told your place in society constantly, playing this kind of marginalized character. I think it's the fight within every day to be able to fight it in society and fight your daily battles. That layer kind of came, you know, the quietness, the kind of simmering, like that comes in the doing, you know.
So you just keep discovering till the end.
Yeah, I think like I didn't expect to play the character as quietly as I did it for a lot of it. For example, I think that just came.
The rhythm comes.
Yeah, but that also now in hindsight is an observation for me.
Right.
It's not something I realized on set. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
I'm going to play.
retrospective.
It's a retrospective, you know, observation.
Yeah, yeah. Kriti, for you also, Mukti is a bit of a mess.
She is, but all of us are.
No, I mean, not coming from a place of judgment at all, right? But you know what Rukmani is saying, that especially for women, there is a sense of like, you know, play the conventional pretty girl roles, right? And this is a woman who is who's trying to make over a man, then falls in love with him, but doesn't really know what she wants, and ends up destroying actually the both of them, right? Did you have this sort of anxiety, or after the years that you put in, you're at a place where you're like, no, this is amazing and I'm going to do it?
So while I would actually say it out that I would love to do a complete negative and a complete grey character, I always feel like I would love to do a Gone Girl, you know, where you're like, oh my God, you know. I wish someone writes that. But Mukti, very strangely, when I read the script and the way she was written, was completely feeling negative. Like in fact, we were shooting in Feb for the film. January, I read the whole script and I called Anand sir and I said, I don't like her. You know, I'm not liking her.
Yeah.
And it was giving me anxiety because I was like, I'm not liking this girl. Like, there's something very selfish about her. Every time I would go back and talk to Anand sir about the same scenes, same dialogues, he would actually visualize it very differently. Like, he had her vulnerability, her layers, her empathy, everything in his head, which wasn't so much there on the paper. And I just felt like, oh my God, like this scene is something else in his head, it's something else on paper. So it was probably one of the few, I think the only character that I didn't prep for properly. I didn't prep for her because I was like, ye sara inke dimag mein hai. I don't even know where to start. All I could feel was she was a psychology student. She had a lot of empathy, and I felt like I wanted to keep her heart really pure and have that, you know, when you don't want to hurt anyone intentionally and you care for people too much, I wanted to keep that her core. If you have that as your core, as a human being, whatever decisions you make and you're in conflicted situations and you end up unintentionally hurting people is not so, you know, it's looked at very differently because I feel like we all make mistakes. So for me, I kept that as her core. And when I was filming a lot, I think it's the first time I found the character entirely while filming. I mean, I felt so many scenes where, you know, even if she says something which is like, you know, on the terrace scene, at the end, she says, "Yahan se ja, wahan police hai." And he says, "Tujhe farak padta hai?" And she looks at him and she says, "Nahi." And then jab wo pit raha hota hai, she's weeping. So most of the time she was saying something else, but her feelings were completely opposite. So I think I enjoyed that. For me, that was like very layered. Not everything was on paper. And I liked that she was flawed. She was not perfect. She was making mistakes. She wasn't she was trying to do the right thing, but she wasn't always ending up with the right result. You know, and she says very honestly that his love was too scary and I didn't want this life. And I feel that's a fresh perspective. I felt like, you know, where a guy is doing whatever he is in his aggression, here's a girl who, even though she cares about him, she wants him to do well, is also calling out the toxicity of it, where she is saying that, can you even take a no? You know?
Yeah.
If I would have actually said no, would you have taken the rejection? Can you have it in you? Which is, I think, I found that perspective very refreshing.
Yeah. Basil?
I was-
Let's talk about Ponman. First of all, guys, I can't get over the fact that you can have so much talent in one man, right? Like, you can direct Minal Murli and you can do this masterclass of acting in Ponman. How do you do it?
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. How it's just happened, ma'am. So it's not nothing like it.
He's just naturally gifted.
He is, no?
Okay, she's also. No, but one man, it's just been just like direction was my first priority from the beginning itself. Like, I was very ambitious and dreamer about being a director and how far should I go. Very like aspiring so much about being a director, trying to push myself. The actor was just accidental for survival first place, because being a director, it's tough to be a stable income, and financially also it's little difficult. Like, you have to wait for actors' dates for quite a
Looking
long
at
time.
all of you.
While he is also an
Only
actor.
one on the table who has the luxury to say it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
So acting just happened.
it just happened because friends started calling to act in their films, and also initially it was hero's friend character. Hero, whenever hero wins, my character will also win. Whenever hero loses, my character will also lose. So it's that kind of sidekick ally character who always crack jokes and have to take care of the comic side of the film, that physical comedy, manners, I mean, all those things. Then it just slowly shifted to the lead roles, and that's where personally I also started looking at it more seriously. And like, okay, this is something just came to me, so I have to keep pushing myself better, so that I have to also cater to that responsible position which I am in, the expectation of the people, the producer, the technicians. So that just happened in parallel. So it just happened.
There's a scene in Ponman where a character hits you, and then immediately, like in a little bit, understands what the situation is and says, "Oh, did you get hurt?" And you're like, "No, I didn't get hurt." And then there's another person in the room, and that guy leaves, and you have tears rolling down your cheeks, and you're explaining to this man that this guy's an athlete, so when he hits, it's really
painful.
hard. And it was so heartbreaking. You're obviously not a trained actor, so where do you bring this out from?
The book actually helped. It's based on a book.
Right.
Panman is based on a book called Nalanji Charapakar, written by Indu sir. So the first thing that got to me was the book, the novel. So even way before the script was even written. So the book gave you much more clarity on the setting, the story world, the characters, the small nuances and everything. Like, when somebody is briefing it to you through the script and all, it's much different. But when you're reading the literature as it is, then you get the entire clarity on everything. No? So that just helped quite a lot. The writing helped actually. So then it's just a matter of just doing what they need on the set. Actually, the director and the writers were all, it's based on a true story also. Yeah, partially based from the director's own life. So he had more clarity on the characters, the world, people. So his briefing also has helped, but actually the book was the key. That was also first time process for me also. Normally we read the script and then get the briefing and then go to the set, but this is like 5 to 6 months of book. I've read the book more times than the script. So the book got me so much of clarity on the film, because you have your own freedom to imagine
Yeah.
the character and everything. No? So reading the book itself gave that high of that character, P.P. Ajesh, the central character. Then so that was turned out to be the pressure. Now I should I shouldn't mess up the Ajay's character doing it on screen. The fans will kick me like, hey, what a character it was. Now you just ruined everything. So that pushed myself also hard. Oh, I should be doing the justice to that character. So, so every scene was like that. So dialogues and everything, that entire set of monologues during that scene you are talking about. So that was all inside the head. So you don't need to be conscious while performing, because that's always like a muscle memory. Like for you, ma'am, like subscribe to Hollywood Reporter.
Is that the right one?
That's your muscle memory, right? That's right. So that comes to you. So this also just happened. Everything just came to me. So I just had to behave what the scene is all about. That's it. So just help. That book actually helped. Thanks to the writers, Indu Owen sir and Justin, of course, to the director, Jyotish sir.
Did you feel like a lot of your homework was done because of the book?
Yeah.
Like you had more
clarity.
background
Yes,
and
yes.
clarity.
Yeah. And just like you have said, like on the set, you would start learning also.
Yeah.
Because there you shoot at the exact location, at the real location where actually the story happened, where actually the people, the characters, even the breeze, even the heat, everything.
The sights, the sounds, the sweat.
Everything. Just feel like you are that after a point. So it just helps actually. Just helped. Everything.
You were saying that he's so versatile as actor, director. Also, he cracks the jokes and he can laugh on them for 1 hour.
Yes, the trademark Basil laugh. It's a thing of
It's
beauty.
going to be our morning alarm now.
1 hour.
Kalyani, thank you for being such a kick-ass superhero. Really, it was so... Yes, exactly.
Here.
Well done. Well done. Really, I mean, I just... Loka was...
He's been singing that since we got here. He doesn't know another song.
Please, let's do it again. Go for it.
You want me to punch you?
But, first of all, that interval block when they're going between past, present, and you figure out, oh my God, this is who she is. I was just like in the theater screaming. And I keep repeating this in every roundtable because all our roundtables have one artist from Loka on.
Also, I think that moment of that passing of that blood bag,
Yes!
the most cinematic
Believe you
moment.
me, that's so unlike Malayalam cinema, and we were not sure if it would work
When
out.
I was watching that film and that moment came, I was like,
Bus. Paisa vasool.
just a brilliant moment.
Did you see it in a theater, Vicky?
I missed it in the theater.
You saw it. Okay. Because like in a theater...
I saw in the theater.
You saw...
Yeah, I saw in theatre as
Were you
well.
guys screaming?
Vibes on vibes in the theater.
Hannah?
It was a full claptrap moment, that one.
Yeah.
Fully. And I know what you mean when you say it's unlike Malayalam cinema in that way, but it was like it landed in how in the theater.
I mean, we were very nervous. We were very nervous up until the day of release. On the day of release, me and Naslin didn't step out. We were like in our rooms, hoping that people don't say anything bad
Even
about
Nashlan
us.
was so good.
He's a brilliant actor. But at 3 o'clock, when we'd known that good reviews were coming in, we both called each other. We were like, I think we can step out now. Like, okay, cool. Do you want to go watch the movie? I'm like, yeah. So that's how it happened.
But Kalyani, I was just, in that interval block, right? There's this moment where the bad guy is holding you too close and talking about all these awful things he's going to do to you. And you're like watching his neck. And I was just like, yes, go for it. Go for it. And you, of course, put your fangs into his neck. And then, after a bit, Naslan's character sees you and you're looking at him and there's blood on your chin. But this could have gone very wrong.
Yeah.
Right. This could go into really cheesy horror quite easily. So on set, how did you know you got it?
Honestly, I have to give Dominic most, if not all, the credit. We had so much trust in him. And he just knew exactly what he was doing. And I think both Nimish is our DOP, and Dominic, they're a duo that really worked well together. And so when we were seeing things, there was something about the way that he was shooting that I was like, wow, okay, I think we've got something. Now, there was still this 2% of, are people going to like this or are people going to take this really cheesily? But like they said, once you're in a film, you're in it. You're going to commit to it completely, and you're not going to have second doubts about the person you signed up for. to be very honest, the first person who told me to do this film was Bezir. He was supposed to be a part of the film initially.
Really?
And he didn't have dates. But
He's talking about how actors are waiting, directors are waiting for that.
he didn't give dates for a long time.
So there's how many more to go? 3 more coming?
5 chapters.
5 chapters. So basically,
Yeah, I can be there.
5 chapters, you mean like 5 more films?
I mean,
wow.
3-4 more films is what.
Looking forward.
Oh, wow. Imagine it's
Amazing.
like all been thought through, right?
Yeah. So basically, like I said, it was just all of us trusted Dominic's vision. And I don't think this film could have been made without that trust. Because otherwise we're just constantly doubting ourselves. So I'd have to, and in fact, a small thing about the interval block, that's not how the script, everything that we shot in the film was how the script was, except the interval block. In fact, that came on the edit table, or while we were shooting, we weren't satisfied with how some of the sequences were coming out. And I think there, Dominic had the idea that I will intercut this. And that happened, and that's great, because I've always felt that in filmmaking, including acting, preparation gives you structure, but spontaneity gives you soul. And honestly, it was that decision, split-second decision, when we weren't getting what we'd had in mind. And he was like, okay, I'm going to change it. And I think that really helped. Like, that interval block is what everybody speaks about. And that happened only because of spontaneity.
Yeah. Nice. Dhruv, you've been sitting very quietly. and first of all, I have to say, what an amazing journey you've had. You start in 2019 with the Arjun Reddy remake that doesn't really fire. You do a film with your incredible father, Chiyan Vikram Mahan, which becomes more his film than yours. And then you reinvent yourself as Kitta in Bison, which is just the most incredible film. And what a performance. My God. I couldn't believe that you've not played a sport before. Because you were this man playing kabaddi, and you were asking me what's on this. It's his list of injuries. Okay, because I could not remember this. So you broke your left hand, 3 teeth, had a concussion because someone kicked you in the face, severe elbow injury, injuries on your thumb and both toes and ankle.
Did you get insurance?
Did I miss anything?
A few, but
After that,
After that.
no, like lower back and things. But that's
And we haven't,
Oh, just the low back.
we haven't yet spoken about your soul.
Who needs that?
We haven't yet spoken about your soul.
yeah. Let's not go into that.
But, you're essentially someone who comes from privilege, thrown into this very extreme circumstance. How did you persevere?
First of all, I'd like to say how grateful I am to be seated here amongst actors that I really look up to and who have inspired me, and across the table with you, which is like something that's extremely surreal for me. I think I needed to do that. I feel like as an actor and as a person, I'm in a position where I need to prove to the audience, but also myself, what I'm willing to do, what I'm willing to endure to like find a place for myself in cinema. So this just became part of the prep. Like all the boys that I would play with, that I'd spend time with over that year and a half, they all didn't really care much about any of the injuries that they would have had. And all the injuries I had are all the typical kabaddi sportsman injuries. So that became a very important part of the prep that I was doing for the character. And I just began to love the sport so much that after a point, what acting is to me became what kabaddi is to him. So then now I'm able to, it was very easy for me to draw that parallel and just be like, okay, you're willing to do anything for the sport and make a name for yourself. And somehow subconsciously, that's also what I want to do as an actor. And now I'm sitting here. So I guess it worked out some way.
And at any point, did you have a sort of a dark night of the soul or a sense of like, main kya kar raha hu? I can just go home and sleep in my AC room?
No, it felt extremely necessary, man. Like I didn't really grasp what it would all be like once it was over. I didn't really understand this concept of this being a movie. Somehow because I'd only done like a couple of films and it had been so long since my last theatrical release that just became life. Like months, years were spent over there. Like I've seen buildings that would practically, like when I just,
Constructed.
were constructed in front of my eyes. Every day I would just like brush my teeth and look out the window, and there was a building that they'd barely started. And then by the time I was done, it was like a proper hotel and people were like coming in and out.
You put your 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Really, really amazing. Ishan, I want to talk about the terrace scene in Homebound, which was just so lovely. So lovely. Hannah?
Yeah.
But just that moment, and it's not long. You know, it's such a...
On the edit.
on
I cried my eyes out for Neeraj.
How long was it originally?
Well, the final film is quite different. The first cut was, I believe, 3.5 hours long, and the final cut was 1 hour 59. So
And you lost your love story.
I lost a love story.
Oh, no.
But kept the important, the soul of the film, which was the love story between the friends.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
But there was, for anyone who doesn't have the context to that, there was a beautifully written track in the film that I think was very personal to Neeraj as well. And we shot it. And, you know, must credit and put on the table Reem Sheikh, who played that character, and she was incredible. She was incredible. And everybody loved it. But in interest of the final film and what it needed to be, and sometimes they say that, Neeraj, I've learned this quote, kill the darlings, you know. So for him, it was like cutting an arm and a leg. But he did a lot of that on the film, you know. But it's what it is because of Neeraj. Because he just knows the ins and outs of his film so beautifully.
But Ishan, in that moment on that terrace, right, you're eating food and Chandan is coming to you and trying to sort of offer, you know, some kind of support, and you push him away, and then you turn around and just break down in his arms. And it felt like you're just not crying for yourself, but for everyone. You know, it was just such a moving moment. What did it take to create that?
That was so beautifully put. Wow. I think the film is kind of that. You know, in fact, we've been talking about, you know, we've been playing this film all over the world, and it's been playing beautifully, but the same way. It's been pretty unanimous, the response to it. I think everybody at the end of the film feels moved in some way or the other, and there's also a check of your own privilege. It is introspective, the feeling that you're left with. But everybody walks out with, you know, their mascara smudged, you know, and I think it's not a sad cry.
Yeah.
Like, I think in a way it is a collective, you know, it taps into this, almost like this dormant humanity in all of us. Because I do feel we're living in a time where everything is pushing you to be more and more like desensitized. Not insensitive, but desensitized, you know. So I think it probably comes from Neeraj and his gaze on this story and this subject. I mean, we felt that way when we read it also, you know. So, and I'm sure you would, you know, be able to relate to that. And I don't know. Beyond that, I don't know. But that's what it. We actually shot that scene a day prior to when we were supposed to. It was a last-minute pivot, like a scheduling conflict thing, and we were like, should we do it? And Neeraj is the most sensitive director for actors and so thoughtful. And he was just like, do you think you can? And I was like, let's just do it. Let's not talk about it. Let's just do it. And it just happened. And he gave a very good note, and, you know, he wrote that scene to be more about the resistance, which is and often also what men do. Like, we resist the cry. Like, you don't want to, you know, be in touch with that part maybe of yourself, or be vulnerable, or you don't know how to, you're not taught to, you know. So it was also a lot about that, resisting it, you know. That was the scene really. Kind of starts crying and he cut it away. He's like, okay, that's too soppy for me. It was just like
It was so lovely. So lovely. Okay, what's the last movie you guys have seen in a theatre purely as a fan? Not to study someone's performance, or not to, like, just go in and see it because you want to see it. Anyone?
Oh my God. I'm trying to remember, when did I go to a theatre?
Fan.
I watched Kanta.
Yeah?
Which one?
Kantara?
Kanta.
And I mean, it's really hard to say that you can't you're not watching it as a fan. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Dulquer.
And how good was he?
And
in
he
that
was
film?
so great in it. So it's really hard for me to say I didn't watch it as a student of the craft. But yeah, I don't think I've ever watched a film after I became an actor without that lens. And I think I'm a very empathetic actor because if I also see a performance of somebody that I like that may not be as strong as their other performances, the first thing that goes into my mind, I don't know if you guys do this, but I'm like, oh, it's probably because the blocking was this way and the lens was this way and therefore you can't see them in this. And I've understood that because a lot of times I'm trying to do something, or if it's a crying scene when the lens is here, I'm like, oh no, nobody's going to see anything. So I start thinking that way. And so till date, I don't think after I became an actor, I've been able to see it in the lens of
Pure view.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think I've been able to do that.
Yeah, it's like, watching films with my husband. वो light ठीक नहीं है.
Oh God.
Just no.
But aren't you doing that also?
I
Who acted?
He has such body criticisms. Yeah, I am taking notes. But tell me, what else? Has anybody seen anything?
I think for me it was one battle after another.
Yes.
It was the last one I
Oh
saw in
my
the theater.
God.
I was in the cinemas last night, but that was the one I was like,
Blown away.
forget, yeah, just watch it. And it was so much fun.
It is.
I didn't want to break it down. It
Yeah.
was just fun time in the movies.
Yeah.
For me, it was Homebound.
Oh.
Homebound was the last one I saw.
For Neeraj, obviously.
For the film as well.
Did you cry, Vicky?
Almost. It's like what he said, like it's always that resistance is there. But Neeraj, I always keep telling him, even if you make an ad film on a condom, you'll make me cry. It's just Neeraj who...
Because it breaks.
Yeah, he just has his way. But it is a heartbreaking, cathartic film, which, like he said, it's not the cry of pain. It's just makes you realize your privileges and, there's so much more to understand and empathize in the world around.
I was just sitting there like Nietzsche, just weeping, and Neeraj like, do you need to go to the bathroom or something to compose yourself?
But the whole third act, when I was in the cinema hall and I was watching it, the background score of the whole third act was...
Yeah.
People were just...
Exactly.
rolling.
The mother scene. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that moment.
She's
She's
incredible.
performed.
She's
It's
talented.
Oh my God.
my most favorite performance
Yeah.
of the year was just that moment.
Yeah.
Just that moment. It was brutally honest. It was just brutally honest.
It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
There were
Absolutely.
2 scenes where the cinematographer started crying.
Oh,
while
wow.
shooting, yeah. That was,
Really?
yeah.
No,
so
that
it was
moment
not,
was just...
but it's done that, like that's the thing that is, I think, that collective experience. Even when you're sitting in a gala premiere of like 1,800 people and hearing those collective sniffles, it's so, I think that's what would get us more than, when we watched it the first time and we saw it at Cannes, and it was just, the sentiment in that room was everything. And it was because, it's connecting on a human level, across languages, and that's what cinema can do.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Homebound, one of the things that I feel like I really walked away with, apart from obviously the catharsis and the sadness of it, I do remember distinctly at one point, I think your co-star is Vishal Dekha. There's a moment where Vishal is speaking to somebody about his name. And the sheer
Sudha's
terror...
character, Janvi, yeah.
No, not to...
No, there's a
Janvi's
guy,
character,
there's
to
that office
the
scene.
gentleman.
Yes, the recruitment officer.
Yeah, the recruitment officer.
Yeah.
And the terror I felt.
Yeah.
Because this guy, initially, obviously, it starts off casual. It's your name.
Oh, beautiful scene.
Yeah, and then it builds. And the way he looks at him is so incisive because he's looking for more than just his name. He's looking for the rest of his life. And the way Vishal is squirming in his seat, the way he kind of melts and becomes, you can see a man become small, so small.
Yeah.
And the unease that left in me, oh my God.
And that is borrowed from Neeraj's lived experience.
Right.
He masqueraded for many years as Neeraj Kumar. He would not say his last name. So that is very personal. And that was day 1 of shoot for Vishal also.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Basil, I know you're too busy. You go to the theatres? Since you have no dates, my friend.
dates
I
of these
got it,
actor
yeah.
directors.
Okay.
Okay.
I saw Echo last.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, it's a really nice film.
Yeah.
Made at a very small budget, not so big stars or anything. Like Sandeep is a good actor for sure. Like for an upcoming talent for sure to look forward to. But felt so happy that such a movie like that got such a good reception from the audience. Like they're promoting such a film made at very low budget, but they collected 5 times the budget or something. So that's just like wow. You feel confident of making any good such attempts. It's a slow burner actually. It's not that commercial anything like that. Nothing is there. It's just a commercial. I mean, it's just a slow burn mystery thriller.
Yeah.
But still, people are involved to crack the puzzle of what's happening in the film. They are talking to each other. That's kind of another community viewing.
Yeah.
Just like for Homebound, people are crying. That's a community viewing. This is like asking the person next to you, hey, what's the thing? Oh, why? That is why. Like they are cracking the puzzle, discussing, and then finally getting to the answer. Then you're shown with something unexpected, like the plot twist. Or they're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Just like
It's like interactive.
yeah, it's more interactive. Just like when we see Dark or something, or that series Netflix, you start writing notes and all. His father is this guy, his sons is that, and then you check, pause and check. Now I get. Now let's play something like that. No, that kind of interaction, or like a Nolan film. If you say someone I didn't understand, you feel like, hey, you didn't understand. Other person, you didn't understand. Like, then you will also be prepared of, I should be understanding this film.
But you know, Nolan, Christopher Nolan said the same thing that Salman Bhai says, right?
Which is?
दिल में आता हूँ समझ में नहीं. Literally.
That's right. That's right. Do you watch in theaters?
Yes, I recently watched Kalam Kaval
Yeah.
with Mamadisa.
The serial killer movie.
Yeah, insane. Like, I think he carries the entire film on his shoulders, and it's so interesting to see how a superstar of that stature is willing to like explore this. It's kind of characters that I don't think a lot of people are willing to do, especially when they're that established, you know. And it's really interesting to just watch him make decisions like that and then follow through with it and do it so well.
Did you see that interview of his where he said,
I saw that.
It's amazing, where he speaks about how someone was like, okay, what kind of script do we come to you with? And he's like, if you've written a script with me in your mind,
Don't come.
don't come to me.
Wow.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's beautiful.
Nice.
Wow.
I think for Kalankaval, actually, he's playing this psychopathic serial killer. He was told the hero character, narrated the hero character. Then he only chose, I'll play the native role. I'll play Vinayak in the hero role. So he was the one who took that decision. Like everyone was like, hey, Amuka is going to do a serial killer character. Oh my god. And it's like killing brutally. It's like you can't expect a superstar to do that. No, like
That's amazing.
Like, proper native. It's not like he's changing to post-human in the end and like
Right.
nothing like that.
It's just bad.
It's just bad. It's bad. That's it. Like
Does that give you confidence?
I mean, that's Mammootty sir doing it. You know, I am Rukmini. I don't know.
What's the worst piece of acting advice you've ever been given, Vicky?
Oh,
Worst
am I the first one on this tricky question?
I remember mine, so I can go
Okay,
into
Kalyani,
that.
you go.
So it was in my initial stages. I think you're right. We were all told a lot of things initially, which if I ever had to give advice to a young actor or whatever, I would say please just don't take anything that you hear initially seriously. But someone was like, oh, a heroine needs to look pretty even when she cries.
Oh, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, so that was the worst piece of advice.
And did you just toss it immediately or did you try and cry pretty?
I think
do
initially,
that?
yeah, and I think it just dilutes the moment if you start thinking about that. But this was very, very seriously told to me.
Wow.
it's like playing that blower and all when you're crying.
I was just going to say that. Get out of my brain.
The hair's blowing.
How do you do that blower, obviously?
Same blower.
See, Basil, the director, has a solution. Kriti, you can cry pretty in the floor.
Nobody came up with that idea on my set. Thank God.
So, Vicky, did you remember?
I think early on, sometimes you used to be like, I used to be told the approach, not by directors, but just like in workshops or somewhere where, like, you know, to go into a scene thinking about stresses and pauses in the writing of it, which at that point I used to feel ki, oh, maybe like, you know, if I emphasize on this and if I emphasize on that, and later on as it became a practicing thing, when I got more opportunities, I'm like, that's the last thing I think of, where to emphasize and what to underline and where to take a pause. I think in some of those incidents it was there that, you know, sometimes it's not about the truth, which is actually for me what matters the most. It's sometimes I don't realize what I gave in that first take and how I said things, and I have to ask the sound guy that can I just hear it again if you want a wild take, because I don't know what I did. So I think that kind of an approach, when you're taught early on, you know, you have to think about stresses and pauses. I think that helps on stage in theatre a lot, but not so much in cinema. Maybe here and there. There's not complete demerit to it, but I don't think that's the way to approach a scene. From the
It's
word
too clinical.
It's too clinical, and also it's not. I mean, if you get the pauses right and the stresses right, but if you don't have the truth of the scene and the writing of it, then I feel you're still a long way away. So I think that is what I can think of. But otherwise, I think I've been pretty blessed with the right advices.
It's like life. Like you catch yourself saying things, you don't know how you're going to say them, because it comes from a feeling, right? It's not a pre-rehearsed like thing.
Yeah.
Where the prep, at least in my understanding, in my very subjective, humble opinion, I feel the text prep is just so you can forget it when you're there.
And then it just comes.
Yeah. Like I would do it maybe clinically if I'm rehearsing or if I'm like reading, which also I don't like to rehearse emotion, but like the text you can do clinically then, but you want to forget that, you know, kind of detailing should come in that moment, you know.
Also, that over prep is also, I think, sometimes just a thing that really backfires on that day.
But Vicky, पता कैसे चलता है कि now you're over prepping?
Because when you start acting too much in your head only, कि मैं ऐसा करूँगा, I'll give this take like this. It's a practicing art. Like it is when you start, like what Ishan said in the beginning and Basil said, that once you start committing to it, a few days of committing to the character, to the world, and like he said, sometimes it's just the heat of the day that makes you do something. It's the costume that makes you do something, the prop on set that makes you do something, your co-actors, everything. Like, you know, at that point, as the character, you're reacting to everything around you.
It's alive.
It's alive.
Yeah.
And sometimes what happens is when you, a night before or whenever you're prepping and mentally you're just attacking a scene, mentally we are all brandos, man. We just do like, you know, we cry on cue, we laugh and we make the people laugh and whatever. But it's just what you commit to on that day. Yeah. So I feel, at least for me, it's that too much cooking in my head about a scene doesn't work for me at all. Like I take myself away from surrendering myself. And I feel like there's a nasha to surrendering to a moment, to a scene, and actually be open to explore yourself. That I don't know what I'm going to feel or do. Let me really just dive in, like, you know, just to nose dive into it. At worst, it's just going to be a bad take, and we're living in a digital world. We'll go for one more.
But I feel like for me, I agree with what you're saying, but I feel that I feel the need to slightly prep at least. Think, because so many times it's happened with me where I'm like flowing and I'm like, हाँ ठीक है, हो जाएगा. And then I come back home and I'm like, oh shit, I should have done that. You know, ideas don't. Ideas don't come sometimes in the moment. So I feel like I want to think about how else can I do these things, and then kind of leave it. Then
Whatever comes.
Yeah, because so many times when you go on set and you've thought of it a different way and the other actors thought of it a different way, so you need to kind of flow and collaborate. So that freedom and that scope should be there. Yeah. But sometimes I feel certain scenes, especially, I feel like if I don't prep at all, so many times I come back and I'm like, "Arey yaar, ye kar leti hu."
I feel like that'll happen anyway.
Which is such a bad feeling. Because yes, we are in a digital world, but you can't go back and take another take.
I give my best take when I've packed up and come back home. I get that after a shower.
In your head.
Only if I could just do that.
I promise you, even if you're reshooting that scene, you will come back saying all that same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happened to me, so I
There's
know.
one thing, another thing, when you are over prepping and you have some kind of plan for you, then the director comes in and says, no, this is what I wanted. Then you'll be like, oh, no, shit. Then, what do you want? Tell me.
And I think the director always knows that over prepping note of an actor, the director always can see.
They
through
can
that.
catch it.
I think so. He'll be able to see that. Validate
But I
that.
find it very interesting when you think of a scene in a certain way and you go on set and the director completely changes the energy.
Flips it on its head.
Completely
Yeah.
changes the energy, and that time I feel like something fresh comes out because you had not thought of it.
But Vicky, this must be your daily life, no? With Sanjay Bansali.
Right now, yes. But in a very, very good way. Because I'm getting to learn so much. And also, I just feel like I go in so much more relaxed that I
just
feel
get to be
like
present.
I don't need to cement my thought process on this character so much. Of course, I know this character, but how to attack the scene and do the scene and commit to it emotionally, he's such a master. He's such a master of exploring the possibilities of what this character or these two characters or these three characters could do in this given circumstance. And there's so much joy and so much adrenaline to exploring. And he really makes you do that as an actor. And I truly am feeling like, from what I think about when I'm going in and what I come back, I'm like, wow, we really explored, man. And it's just a high you feel. Yeah.
That's so joyous, man.
It is. It really
Yeah.
is.
I mean,
It's very nerve-wracking in the beginning when you've not yet committed and you're like, okay, only exploring. Because some of those possibilities are not coming naturally, but you're reaching there and going and kind of like, but it's just, that's how you learn as an actor. At least I am. Yeah.
How do you work through?
How do I work?
Yeah. Do you like to prep or do you just go in and explore?
You're still asking that after the
Yeah, for the next one. What do you do for the next one?
I used to have this method that, so I studied at Strasbourg, and you'd have this like worksheet with your characters' age and, which part of society they consider they're from and what relationship they have with their parents and all of that really technical stuff. But my director, Mari Selvaraj, saw me use that one day and he was like, that's not what you should be doing at all.
Strasbourg out of the window?
Yeah. So I have no fixed process as such, to the point where I don't even know what I'm going to do next or how I'm going to do it at all. I feel like every character has some, it feels like soul searching for me in a way. Like I'm trying to find the similarities between me and that character, and then I kind of may sound spiritual, but I feel like I heal a part of myself through playing that character. So whatever it takes to do that, I then do. It's hard for me to find stories in this situation because like, maybe not everyone who comes to me knows that this is what I anticipate when I want to do something. But there's no fixed method or anything like that. I just surrender to my director, surrender to the work, and then just hope that it works out.
Talking about Strasbourg, Rukmini, you're also a RADA trained actor. And I remember having a conversation with you about, what was it, 15 questions?
No, it's 9.
9 questions.
Stanislavski is 9.
Huh.
But yeah.
And so these are 9 questions you have to ask about the character.
Every
About
character.
the character or the scene, whatever it is you're taking on. So if you're
I
taking
saw that
on-
interview. What were the 9 questions? Refresh course,
don't
please.
put me on the spot, please. I don't know if my professors are watching. It's stressful. No, but essentially it's, who is this character? What are they doing in that moment? Who are they speaking to? It's just rooting yourself and contextualizing for yourself with every scene, with every character. So you can do that for an entire play or a film. You can do that just for a scene. What are the circumstances? Who does this character have beef with? Who are they, trying to speak to? Are they trying to... Essentially, it's almost journalistic questions.
Right.
Who, where, when, how, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's a very intellectualized
Is it
kind
like
of
to make it
approach.
specific and not like you're in your head? Is it to bring you in present, make you present, or what's the purpose, do you think?
It's almost like
great
having like a
question.
backstory before you
Right.
go into it. So
But she
then-
said like before every scene you would ask yourself.
You could do. So I think what, for instance, drama school gave me was this assortment of tools, right? They'll give you Alexander work for your body, they'll give you Laban, they'll give you Stanislavski or Meisner or Strasberg, and then go forth into the world and figure out what you want. And there's no rules about it, obviously. So you can take a little bit of Strasberg here, a little bit of Stanislavski
It's what
here.
you take from it.
Yeah, a little bit of Natyashastra here. Cook it up and see what happens with it. But I don't know. I think to me, very personally speaking, the kind of person and actor that I am, I go into things with nerves about how to tackle it. So for me, the idea of a pedagogy or the idea of any of these tools was, okay, I have something. I'm not going into this completely
Ignorant or
ignorant.
Like
or
Kriti's prep, right? You want to have
But
some.
while hearing her, I was suddenly feeling like I don't know anything. So ये सब तो मैं suddenly मुझे uneducated feel हो रहा है.
you guys are probably
Same here.
all doing
Back
this
benches.
anyway.
No, I'm a front bencher otherwise. That feeling is terrible.
You're an engineer.
I'm sure everyone's doing this anyway in their own way. Because the prep, the work, it's what you do before. And then you go in there and you're engaging with another human being in an ideal world. Or, a VFX tennis ball or something like that. But you're engaging with real feelings and real things.
You know, that's the thing I love about cinema is that sometimes it's about soul searching and sometimes it's about just catch the light. It just ranges from this whole spectrum.
Exactly. I mean, you just have to get it done.
can you just say the word right? Like it's just that.
Catching the focus.
Don't cover
Yeah, don't cover the other actor.
You know, my favorite story is like from the early 90s when Mahesh Bhatt Saab made Ghulam with Amir. And Amir was like, but what's my motivation? And Bhatt Saab like, lunch.
Sometimes that is the motivation.
Sometimes,
Whatever rose the boat.
Truly the best performances come out when the sun is going.
Yeah.
Sun ja raha hai. Oh,
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
best.
You don't have time to think.
Yeah.
You don't have time to think. This reminds me कि actor को मत काटना, like don't cover your co-actor.
Correct. Oh,
A
God,
story I have of Jackie sir
Huh.
on this film that I did with him, and it was this wide shot, and he's playing this villainous comic character sitting on this throne, and Siddhant Chaturvedi and I had to walk into this frame, and between us you can see him, and he was doing a whole monologue, and he's sitting there. Hey, something Shastra Buddhi, ke something, hey, Chintu ke side out to me. He just said, while doing the dialogue, he said, frame cut hai. Back into it. He's aware that the camera's not. So it comes to that.
Laugh. Oh man, that's hilarious. That is great. Okay, guys, I have two slightly contentious questions, but I feel we must address them. The first is something that just keeps coming up again and again and again, and we somehow have not found a solve for it, which is entourage costs for actors, especially in Hindi cinema. It's a big conversation, and I always feel like this is not rocket science, right? If a producer is spending X amount of money on things that are not in the frame will suffer. So why don't actors just, I don't know, get together, have a cap or a ceiling on what entourage costs should be? How do we make this more palatable? Is there a solve?
I don't know if actors can get a solve.
But
I
it's
think it has to be a
your
combination
teams,
of
right?
I feel like it has to be a combination of even like certain entourage being there, producers being there, and cutting out what is not needed.
Correct.
What is luxury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know if we've spoken about this. I think we have. Like, when it comes to your trainer or your dietitian, like when I had a dietitian for Mimi, it was for the film specifically.
Sure, and
I
that's
was supposed to
fine.
gain weight,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
very specific.
Correct.
If you're doing an action film and you need a certain kind of training for the action, I understand that. But otherwise, I feel like if you're taking a cook and you're all of that, I mean, I don't understand that, to be honest, because then it's your personal cost. Then you're doing it for yourself.
It should be, right?
Yeah. Like, yeah,
I mean,
it
I'm
should
hearing
be,
about
that
like
should be.
6 vanity
Yeah.
vans and chefs, and I'm like, man, like, what do you put into the movie?
Actually, I haven't seen that 6 vanity vans.
I've
so I
never
don't
heard
know.
about anything like that before in my life.
Really?
Yeah, and I haven't seen it.
So maybe
Neither
this is
have
just
I.
urban legend?
No. I think we have mentioned, what we are saying is that we have not seen it on our sets, but
Yeah.
we're not denying that it's not the truth.
But
It's
I haven't
there.
seen it. I've heard about it.
Yeah, we've heard about it, but
तो क्या
also
करें we
see the thing is
Maybe you're talking to the wrong actors.
anything that burdens the film financially should be course corrected, 100%. And of course, like Kriti said, there's some incidents that happen. Okay, this is for the character, this is for the film, where I need a gym on set, because if it's a 7 to 7 sked and it's an action film and everything, my only time to train is at 5 in the morning, and the gym is going to be in the opposite direction of the location. Probably it'll just help if there's some setup on set.
It helps the film.
It helps the film. That's what it
Anything
is.
that's helping the film.
The film. So
correct.
all that is, I feel like it's, and to be very honest, every producer also understands that, is what I believe. Also, I feel like, sure, see, the thing is, we can only say a personal, like, what we have, what our kind of approach experience is. But I think if on that film, with that specific actor, something is a problem and that needs to get discussed, I feel that needs to get discussed. Directly.
I also feel like producers do sometimes have a conversation where certain
Now I
things
do
are
feel
not
that.
in their scope, and it's kind of getting over budget for
But
what
also
they
sometimes they
accounted for.
don't, and I think it's about the expectation.
Correct.
Because it's like just normalized to that
It
degree.
is normalized.
And that's, I think, so I understand what you're saying, because it is, and we are very mollycoddled, I feel like, especially as actors, we really are. Like, I'm coming off, I did something called The Perfect Couple in Cape Cod, where they just gave me a house and a car and said, drive yourself to set. Now I'm doing laundry every day. I'm cleaning, I'm cooking for myself. I'm doing the lines while driving to set and doing that. I didn't know a single person there. And have a single person from my team. It was just 3.5 months of that. And that is one way of working as well. And our systems have made it so that and it's also a cultural thing. It's in India, we have a lot of help. And that creates jobs. But I think where is the limit should be an individual question. It can't be the expectation. That generally aisa hota hai. I think everyone should ask themselves, and it's also the project. It depends what the project needs. Like you said, for Homebound, I didn't need, Neeraj was very specific that we'll have one hair and makeup team for all the actors because there's a set look. So you don't need your people for that. So I'm very happy to let go of that. But for something like the Royals, they need me to look like a prodigy horse rider in like 2 months. So I mean, they'll have to get me a coach so I can horse ride. Or
But I'm talking about the waste, Ishan, and we know that there is ample waste happening, right?
If it's beyond necessary, you should incur it, the cost, I think. If it's beyond what you need for the film,
100%.
Then actors should step up and say, we'll pay for this,
100%.
right?
Yeah, but I think a lot of us do. I don't know. That's why I'm a little confused because I've not seen it happen and it's not happened with me. Like Tere Ishq mein, I always joke around that Anand sir की फिल्म में अगर ट्रेनर लेके जाना है तो खुद लेके जाओगे because वो इतना खाना खिलाते हैं और उनकी हीरोइन हमेशा ढकी होती है. उनकी हीरोइन हमेशा ढकी होती है कभी because वो इतना खाना खिलाते हैं, so it's like, I mean, he'll be like, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता तुम्हारी बॉडी है या नहीं है.
In one scene, you wore a sexy black dress. You remember?
That is the max he's gone. If you see all his films, that's the max. And that too, after like a week, you realize that you do need to train because he is feeding you so much. I mean, if I'm getting a trainer, it's my own money going there, which is
I
fine.
think that should be spoken about a lot more because that sets the example for other actors to know that you guys are taking on your own expenses and that matters. It really matters. I have to tell you about the Malayalam film industry. I asked this, we had a producers roundtable, so I asked Dulkar about this. And he's like, 6 vans? He's like, we wouldn't have place to park the 6 vans. Like, where would you park these 6 vans?
But I don't think in the Hindi film industry also 6 vans is a norm.
Correct.
It's so
It's not at all.
you're talking about very specific people then because I've not seen more than one man for any actor that I've worked with.
Wait, 6 vans for one person?
Dhruv, are we not paying attention?
Just for one person, that's ridiculous. I'm so sorry. No,
It
I'm not saying anything.
Dhruv,
about
that's my whole point. It is.
It's Entourage has come from 6 man to 6 man.
Yes. And I had, a couple of weeks ago, an actor come here for an interview with 8 people. Like 8 people.
Did all of them know what they were doing?
I have no clue.
All of a sudden, I'm counting how many people did I call. I'm okay.
Is it less than half that?
I'm just saying.
No, so hopefully this gets better. The other question is slightly more philosophical. Okay. So in last year's SAG Awards, Timothée Chalamet accepted his Best Actor award for A Complete Unknown. He won for playing Bob Dylan. And in his acceptance speech, he said that, I know the classiest thing to do would be to play down the effort that went into this performance, but I truly aspire to greatness.
Outstanding speech.
It was amazing. Like my hair stood. You know, he was like, I want to be one of the greats. And it was just so amazing. And it made me think, so our actors, many of them, talk about themselves as brands, right? Because you're not just acting, you're also endorsing products, you're also hosting award shows, you're doing concerts, you're at events, you're dancing at weddings. And again, this comes, and you're doing roundtables, of course you are. And I always wonder, can a brand aspire to greatness?
I think greatness would be dictated by your body of work over a period of time. And in that period of time, I think it's going to be a learning curve for me as an actor as well. If the brand attachment to my craft, is it helping me or is it not helping me or whatever. But I think eventually the road to greatness is only going to be the characters I play and the films I get to be a part of, and what the film, how the people resonate with the film. You know, I always say that the best performance can't save a bad film. You know, but a great film can save a bad performance.
Yeah.
So for me personally, my focus is just about, of course, the things that come along with, you know, you being an actor will always be there, and with time it always will keep changing, every 10 years or every 5 years. But I think eventually the core of it is all going to be, if you're talking about legacy, if you're talking about achieving greatness, is all going to be over a period of time as to what, okay, if 30 years down the line, if, you know, by God's grace, if it lasts, but it should speak something that, okay, you know what, this has been the body of work of this guy as a creative person. And that should speak something. And that should always, I think, go heavier than the brand or whatever. That is my conscious kind of awareness that I always carry, that, you know, it's going to be the films that I get to be a part of, and what the films talk to the people, how much they resonate with the film. Everything else is going to be dependent on that, not the other way around.
Yeah.
I feel like the path to greatness today is very different from what it used to be like, you know, back in the day, where a lot of the legendary actors that are present today, I think the way that they came up was very different, since it didn't have the whole social media and all of that, right? We'd only see them in theaters, or, you know, we'd see them in Chennai, we'd have banners across highways. They don't do that anymore. We'd get like trailers on a DVD. So it was very hard to kind of like view a person in real life, in real time.
As a real person.
Yeah, in comparison to today.
You're talking about accessibility, right? Basically,
Accessibility, correct. But I'm also saying like the path to stardom is very different today. At least in Tamil cinema, we don't have that much song and dance anymore. But there are some actors that made a mark for themselves and have been loved by so many people just because of the way they dance. Even if the films don't work out, the albums are great, the dance is great, you know. So I feel like Vicky sir rightfully said, it all comes down to the work that you do as an artist.
He called me ma'am when I met him first, and I corrected him immediately. I said, "Don't call me ma'am, bro."
I'm just used to doing that.
Yeah.
Vicky sir?
See?
I don't know what else to call it.
Coming to what Vicky said, actually, I feel like greatness is, in my opinion, probably about what you're remembered for. You know, maybe 30, 40 years down the line, after you're gone, like, what do people remember you for? For me, it's about, like, of course, the body of work. And we all want to build a legacy, you know, and we want to kind of be remembered for the work that we've done. But I also feel like a part of it is not so much the brand. You're not going to be remembered for the wedding you're dancing on, just maybe by the audiences, but not by the world. But a part of it is also like, you know, what else in your personality is kind of contributing to something. Like, for example, when we talk about even Meryl Streep, I love her work, but there's so much more that she talks about that I remember her words. Priyanka, for that matter, I love watching her interviews, and sometimes there are things that she does, or subjects that she kind of supports, issues, or I feel like that leaves an impact on me. And I think that overall, that part of your brand kind of contributes to the greatness and to your personality. So I feel it kind of needs to be in a sync. And of course, films is the base for all of us. We want to do like a lot of good work and be remembered for characters for years, after. And I feel like films are always there. Like it's always going to be there forever, for generations after generations. So it starts with that, but I feel like there's a little more around it.
And you can't lose sight of that, right?
Yeah.
That the foundation is the
work.
storytelling and
Yeah.
the work. Yeah.
I mean, brands are kind of by definition transient, right?
Yeah.
Like they will change faces. Your work will not, in that sense. The stuff that you really leave behind are the characters that you've given your face to.
No, and I also feel you as a brand kind of grows with the work you do.
Correct.
So with the work as an actor that you do, I feel like your brand kind of also grows with it.
It's all about the hard work, I feel. I mean, like, you have to push yourself. The brand, everything, the money, everything comes as a byproduct to what you do. That's it. Just have to. You don't need to compromise your character, what you personally, your personality is, because you are a brand now. You are not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
If you feel like dancing, dance. If you feel like go for something else, something do crazy, do that. It shouldn't be like described inside this, because you are this, you shouldn't be doing that. All you have to do is just focus on what work you are doing, the professional space, what you are doing, push your maximum to that, and aspire for long term also. Physically also you have to be there, like healthy also you have to be there, like maybe 70-year-old, 80-year-old. You also should be that healthy and energetic to serve at that time also. So it's always push yourself and work so hard. Just aspire and be ambitious. Always aspire for greatness all the time.
And do 7 films a year.
No, I personally don't know about the brand part, because I know I'm a human being, that much I know first. So from that point of view, I think that's probably why that speech was so empowering, is that he was speaking his truth. It didn't feel like a sensational statement, because it's like a self-affirmation. It's like, I'm keeping my eye on the ball, and this is what I want, and this is a reminder to self, like this is what I'm chasing, and this is what I want to be, and this is.
But there's also the vulnerability of doing that on stage for people across the world to hear and make note of, because you may not succeed. He may become an 80-year-old who does not become whatever great we choose to define as.
Yeah.
But he said it.
He's out on a leg,
Yeah, like there's such vulnerability in going out there and saying, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like the first time I said, I want to be an actor, I was terrified. Terrified, because I may not be, and I'm saying it out loud, and I may fail, and this person may remember that I failed and may hold that against me, or, have this mark in their mind that, oh, she tried to be an actor, but,
Yeah.
So imagine going out and saying, I want to be great.
Yeah.
It's a huge
a big
thing
one.
to own and say, that's my life's work.
No,
Now
but
let's see.
more power.
Power.
Because if we can't speak our truth to power, then how can you expect other people to do it for you?
And it almost might make you feel accountable now that you said that.
You said it,
owned
exactly.
Now you better do it.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's out there. Now you better
Slacking
have your hair on fire to get there, right? And it's not like without grace.
Yes.
That's why it means something.
It didn't come from arrogance.
It didn't
Yeah.
come from
No, not at all.
arrogance. That's why it means something.
Yeah,
No, more
absolutely.
power.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, one last question, and I want all of you to tell me one performance that really inspired you this year, preferably in something Indian. Something you saw that just made you happy.
I haven't seen much only. I was trying to answer your earlier question.
You're still trying to answer that?
Yeah, no, I found 2 films that I have seen.
Please?
I mean, I've seen Chava,
Huh.
and of course, I love Vicky's work, but I also am a fan of Lakshman sir. With Mimi, he has my heart, so I have to watch everything that he does. And and especially after Mimi, I feel like Chava felt like so different from what he had done, and so intense, and the way he just presented everything was very deeply moving. The last act was like goosebumps for me. And I also loved F1.
Yeah.
Why am I answering this question so late? Yeah.
It's okay.
But I loved F1. Like, again, that's a movie that I can watch again.
Absolutely.
Not too many films have that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the performances. I enjoyed everything that they did. And I was actually at the F1, I think a while back, Silverstone, where I saw their set. They had made it and they actually had shot there. So for me, I was very excited to actually see how it turns out.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, performances?
The film I can think of right now is actually a classic that I ended up seeing for the first time. I'm very ashamed of that, but it just completely shook me to my core as an artist was Pyasa. I saw it for the first time and it just like, I don't know how many days I was in that trip of Pyasa as for the performance, for the writing, and then I started kind of trying to find out stories behind the making of it. And what amazing stories, what amazing truth to kind of, commit to in terms of writing and music and just the scenes and the story. It's just, I don't know. I know it's not the correct answer to the question that you asked.
No, but it's a great film.
I was so inspired. I'm so inspired by that film. I'm like, like some films that you watch and you're like, this, if my filmography can just have like one
part
of
of it.
50% of this. So just like, that one film where like, you can watch like after 50 years of its release and you can just be blown away, and we're all attempting to make that film which makes people go wow or feel something. And I was just watching it at home and every 8 minutes I was going like, what? Like, wow. And I've rarely felt that, that much. But yeah, Pyasa was a film for me.
How lovely.
Yeah.
How lovely. Basil?
I'm still thinking which film, but since Kalyani is here, I should say I really loved her performance in Loka
You
for
don't
sure.
have to, but
But
I should
I'm just
say.
saying.
I should say.
I was thinking like, but she was like, I watched Loka twice and first time I messaged her, you were good and all. Second time I messaged Kalyani, you are a rock star.
I still remember that because I knew he was serious because he messaged the second time saying something like that. I was like, oh, okay. This wasn't just him saying something for the sake of
Also, I
saying
feel what's tricky as an actor is to deliver a performance on a character which is supposed to be stoic for most.
it was the hardest.
she was completely still.
And still to kind of not make me feel that it's a flat performance, but it's meaning something in every scene.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge kind of. Like,
Thank you. I mean, that was a huge fear because for me, at least from a lot of the movies that I've seen, we're not used to, in our culture, seeing women so stoic.
Yeah.
We're used to seeing men sometimes be stoic, but women, no, that doesn't. We're the most emotional part of a film most often.
Yeah, we're
so I
blushing
was
all the
not
time.
sure. So I was not sure. I mean, we have to look pretty even when we cry. So I was not sure if people would get that, and it means a lot that people actually.
I felt like she made me believe that she's been living for centuries.
Yeah.
And that I don't know how to achieve that as a performer, but she did that for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also the action and all, no? It's like to bring that postures and the
Body language.
the body language, the style and swag for a superwoman to bring that on screen. It's very difficult. Like she have worked so hard and trained so hard for quite a long time to get into that. So it's just not just on set. She have prepped quite a lot to get that drip.
Thank you. Yeah, he knows the person that I am, so he knows that's not me. So yeah, it means a lot.
We are very sure you are not a vampire.
What about you, Kalyani?
I'm trying to think, but maybe Rishabh sir.
Oh,
Yeah, my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And when he becomes a woman to kill you, I was like, I cannot
the
even
most
believe.
cinematic moments.
Yeah, I was like, where is this actor gone?
Yeah.
What is happening?
How do you channel that?
How do you
right?
do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazing. Amazing. Rukmini?
No, it's wild. I mean, when we're talking about Rishabh sir, he was doing all of that on like 2.5 hours sleep.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and the kinds of I'm sure other folk who've been on the technical roundtables and stuff would have told you that, the kinds of weather conditions they were shooting in, and obviously the buck stops with the director, so he's dealing with all of that and performing with all that as well. So it was incredible to watch firsthand. But yeah, I got that little peek behind the curtain. But for me, it was Loka. And so much of it, again, the stoicism and the weight of centuries, in your face, behind your eyes. But I also loved how cohesive all the performances were. Everyone else also coming together. The comedy worked so beautifully. I was cackling in the cinema.
Even the friends.
Yeah, the friends were fab. And that guy sleeping in the corner.
And that moment where we find out that your character, I think Naslin has just seen your character kill someone and then he just falls.
Yes.
The theatre was cackling.
Yeah.
And this was like a director's cut or something. So people are normally quite poised there, but they were losing their minds. So it was beautiful to watch all of that come together, and I had such a ball watching that film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Kriti, from the two that you watched?
I mean, since we're talking about Hindi, I would say Vicky. I think he was damn good.
He was damn.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah,
you're at
without
the
a
correct
doubt.
round table where it has
Without a
released, so we
doubt.
can talk
Yeah.
about it. I think he was very good. And I feel like it's sometimes also very difficult to do something which, especially in a period film, a lot of dramatic stuff is there. And you're screaming and there's a lot happening. And for the impact, I feel like you have to kind of push it a few notches higher, which is very difficult to do convincingly.
Correct.
And I feel, with everything that was happening with his character, especially at the end, everything, I feel like even the little bits of romance, just going in and out of that, I think it was incredible. I loved your performance.
Thank you, Kriti.
We all did, I guess.
Yeah, honestly.
It was not so easy to do such a role, actually. To
Thank
do a real life character and doing that kind of.
And how you built yourself like a beast.
Yeah.
Was that the gym?
Might be doing it
gym
again
that
from
you
what I
did?
said.
The gym vanity.
Yeah, there was a gym setup. Just needed that.
Ishan, for you?
I'm not saying this because everybody said it, but because I have this, and thank you for giving the opportunity. And I've always said this also, that I have actually not just Chava, but I think I've always admired the level of commitment that Vicky brings to all of his roles. And I fell in love with him during Masan. So, I mean, he's definitely an actor that I would go to the cinemas to watch, no matter what he does. So that's there. When you talk about Rishabh sir in Kantara, I haven't yet seen chapter 1, I told you that. But I felt that way when I saw the first one, and especially that climax. I mean, it was really transcendental.
Yeah.
And that as a performer is something to shoot for and look up to. But I also want to say, I was late to the party and I saw Sapta Sagarda Chelo this year.
How good is she?
And I messaged her and everybody in that film. But Rukmini, I think the more I think of it, both in side A and side B, she's like the kind of the anchor of that film. Yeah. And she's like that safe space for that character who's going through all that turmoil and all of that stuff. And to be able to embody that, like a sense of calmness or peace, is on retrospect, it's even more amazing because it's a performance that lands over those two films so beautifully. Yeah. And in the end, when he walks into the, no spoilers, but he walks into the water with that, you're like a weeping mess yourself.
Yes.
It's like you walked into the Samandar yourself. So,
Correct.
So yeah, I just want to doff my hat to, all the wonderful performers sitting here.
Dhruv, last word to you.
If I may say, Mr. Vicky.
Sir!
It's really inspiring to see the amount of effort that he puts into the roles. And also, I realized today how humble and how sweet he is as a human being. And it's like amazing to see someone that kind of...
You're the one calling everybody sir and ma'am, and you're talking about our humility.
He's like larger than life in this film and like in all of his films, but especially this one, I watched it in the theater. And it's like to young actors like me, when we see how much effort someone is willing to put in, I don't know if he knows what it's going to end up like when it's all over and if it's going to be like a massive success as it was. But still, like, you just have to clock in and do it. And I think that he's like extremely solid and I really look up to him for that.
Thank you, Dhruv.
And Ishan in Homebound, I thought there was so much depth, so much nuance to the way he played that role. Like, I can tell you scenes because I was just like, damn, was he really feeling that? Because he really makes you feel those emotions, whether it's shame or humiliation or wanting to say something but he doesn't know if he can, and then he like bursts. It's really inspiring, and I really enjoyed the performance. I was telling him earlier.
So I have to tell you, Dhruv, I haven't seen Bison and I really want to, but I've seen the efforts that you've given to the film, and I've seen the whole video of the making of, or it was your training or your prep.
And now we know the number of bones.
I know.
That's that information.
Yeah.
Incredible, man.
Thank you.
Incredible, seriously. It's not easy at all to commit to that every day.
So we spent 1.5 years at.
That was 1.5 years.
1.5 years learning the sport. About 2 years.
They should have made a longer video than 3 minutes.
Give it some
Telling the wrong
justice.
person.
He went on to stay at that place for
Yeah.
1 year or something.
If only it took 3 minutes.
Wow.
In real life.
It's crazy, actually.
It's funny because nothing, whatever I say about that, sometimes people think I'm shy or I don't speak much, but it just feels like nothing I say can do justice to what I
happened?
experience. So I just don't get into it at all.
Yeah. Well, all of you have been spectacular, and I just want to end by saying thank you. And just keep going and keep making great movies and tell us great stories. And you tell us when Minal Murli 2 is coming.
Please tell us. Please tell us.
It will.
And the next direction that he was not telling us about.
That's right. Can we just pressurize
many
you
secrets.
on
On
camera?
air.
I'll give you gaze. eyes.
And also just putting it on the table, dates are available.
Yeah, have those films been cast yet?
I know a little bit Malayali also. So. Let's tell her.
That's right. That's right. And can I just tell you that the roundtables are very lucky because Rajamouli and Prithvi Raj, I don't know if that was the first meeting, but we did do a roundtable with the two of them. And I said, if the two of you work together, we need a credit, right? It has to be thank you. And they are working together. So you never know. I say,
We're all just looking at him.
but thank you so much and more power to all.
Thank you.
you.